Today, I will be looking at your disgusting Halloween costumes. I'm kidding, that's just like the adjective I chose for a sensationalist title. Hi again, guys, and happy Halloween! About a week or so ago, I asked you guys on Twitter to send me the Halloween costumes you were planning to wear this year, and I wanted to make sure it actually went out on the day, so I apologize if you didn't have yours together until literally the day of the holiday, but here we are. I'm looking forward to what you guys have put together this year, because I have a complete void of creativity when it comes to craftsmanship of these things, and there's just like a real shame you have to feel if you decide to go to like Party City or Spirit Halloween to get a pre-made one. Also, just a reminder, there is a little under a week left to get my G-Subs horror merch drop, the Macabre Collection. Come November 6th, these bad boys are gone forever. That means the shaker cup with the wraparound freakazoid on the front, the desktop length mouse pad with the massive behemoth over the arid wasteland. I am like still just flabbergasted how well this thing came out. And the fricked up little double-sided skeleton shirt that I think you guys will enjoy. Quick note on the clothes, they are oversized, so keep an eye on the size chart. Thank you once again to Enoch on Oblivion for the art and for all of those who have supported the drop so far. Let's hope we can end this run strong in the final week. Anyways, enjoy the video. I do apologize for my basic bitch costumes this year, chat. I can only be so mad at this sort of thing considering I don't have a costume. I'm just kind of sitting in my underwear right now. And I really do think there is a place for Halloween costumes that are just somewhat stylized fits. Like, you got a cloak on over here, you added some little bunnies, so like it's hard for me to get too mad at what you're working with, so good job. I'm not gonna crucify you for this. We'll save that for somebody later in the video. You know, you had the idea for this one and started posing for it really fast. Like, sure, this is like a classic Sans costume. You're probably even using an officially licensed hoodie. You know, the socks, the little pink slippers that he wears, and everything but official art, but canonically is in on all the merch. And that gray hoodie he never actually wears up except when he's silhouetted in the opening of the game. But lifting the pose directly from the 10th anniversary stream, that's something special. I can respect that. What do you want, cat? She's just like doing laps around my chair and like sitting down in like this little nook and then coming out again. I don't really know what her deal is. I mean, yeah, obligatory thumbs up because it's Undertale, even if it's been done time and time again. You can't hate a classic too much. Also, it's like a convenient excuse to censor your face if you didn't want me to know what you looked like because you can just say you're being in character. Okay, I'm actually having a hard time telling what you're supposed to be here. Like, you're doing the house biting the glove pose, but you don't seem very dressed up like him. You've got on, like, much more avant-garde clothes, and you have not zoomed out so I can get the entire ensemble. Ain't that the dude from Honkai Star Rail? One of my mods has named this file, so I'm going to assume it's from that. I'll let it slide for now, but if you want to show me your costume, you actually have to share the details of the costume and not give me all these conflicting fucking pieces of information. Now I'm scared and alone. It's a fursuit. A few of these are just gonna be a fursuit and then you wore clothes over it, isn't it? God, videos like this just kind of serve as like a really easy sample platter of anybody who wants to bully the median Kwote viewer, or at least the median Kwote viewer who's gonna go out of their way to actually submit something to a video for me to make fun of. God, I really do need to like subtly influence y'all to have different tastes. Not give up your old ones, just add some new ones to the mix. Apothecary Diaries, I don't actually know what this is from. I learned a term the other day where it's like a character's iconography can be determined by the Halloween costume test, where, like, how often do you think you will have to describe what your costume is to somebody for it to be considered a truly iconic one instead of just, like, a niche that you are into alone on the internet? I think the costume itself is nice. There's some, like, details in here. Clearly put into some work. I'm gonna assume the mess on your bathroom counter is mostly to do with putting the costume together instead of like judging it really harshly. I see a Batgirl in the corner of my eye, so I'm looking forward to that one. Bands, I'm gonna be honest, this one does just look like an outfit for me. Is the costume here that you're someone who's below the poverty line? Like, how many of these hundreds are real? I could zoom in and check to see if I can find the exact one on Amazon, or see if there's like one that's turned around and says this is prop money. But as far as a costume goes, this is like some shit you see people wearing on a normal night out. I guess the exception of like maybe the added wig. Am I gonna get bullied in the comments for not recognizing this one? Well, I guess anybody who recognizes it off rip might just be telling on themselves. Batgirl? Ooh, is this the Stephanie Brown Batgirl? Or am I tripping? Yes, this is Stephanie Brown Batgirl. I know my shit. I always thought like the kind of purple and black / dark blue aesthetic gave it like some really unique highlighting, so I fucked with the choice. Looks utility belt and the utility thigh belt and just like, you know, the yellow bits in general look self-assembled, so I like to see people who are put some real art craftsmanship into it, so good shit with that. That yellow flag in the background makes me think like the thing you mutilated to make these pieces out of like is just barely off screen. It's like you're hiding a body and trying like to just barely tease that it's in the camera frame. Hey, we got a second bat here, and it's like a classic one. It's not like an IP, it's just an icon of Halloween itself, dressing up like an animal that most people associate with this time of year. I know we're gonna get multiple furries as we go further along, so I am going to be judging these fursuits pretty harshly. Hey, you made a beach bear from the Rockafire explosion. Hi, Kwote. Hi! Oh, and you made the fursuit yourself, no commissioning done. And you said it's from something, so I gotta look what this is up. Oh shit, I see. It's this motherfucker who scares the shit out of me, but it is a real thing. And I feel like the original version, the Showbiz Pizza Wiki, it feels like appropriately creepy as an animatronic without going overboard. Yeah, I respect the high effort, high level play that you put into this one. Big hat. Okay, this is definitely, I'm almost certain, from a thing, so I'm not gonna say that it's like just a fit you put on, and like there's clearly some craftsmanship here. I like the flower ring going around the hat. I like the, I don't know if it's completely 100% accurate to whatever the source material is, but I just like the idea of an oversized hat even beyond what it looks like and wherever it's originally from. You know what I really should have added? A field that said, tell me what your costume is so I didn't have to guess, but it's a bit late. I guess we'll think of that for next year if I'm even still alive. I approve. I approve. Seems appropriately detailed and involved. I fuck with that. The helmet's not done yet. You know what? I respect that. I respect that. I did give y'all a pretty limited window of time in order to submit your Halloween costumes, but you still went for it, put on what you had, and it's like, all right, here's some like rough concept art on what the rest of it's supposed to look like. It's creative. Blade from Honkai Star Rail. We got a few of these, and this one like looks like really professional. Like the lighting is hard as shit on this one. This like feels like the most intentionally composed picture that you took of yourself for the costume in the video yet. Something about the red lighting is just gonna be automatically menacing no matter what it is we're talking about, you know what I mean? Approved! Bones. Oh man, you really nailed that creepy feeling that comes with just being able to see a human eye and nothing else peering at you through a mask that it, like has really tiny eye holes. Like part of it is imagining how claustrophobic it has to be for the wearer and how they've somehow projected that claustrophobia onto me simply by looking at me through the single peephole that I'm actually visible from. This is like really convincing as bone work. The horns are like maybe a bit shiny, but even then that just kind of makes it look like they have solid construction. Like shit, I think if I were to pull one of the bones out of my arm, clean off like the sinew and blood and other gory bits, the texture would be roughly of this kind. Approved! Bucket! Guy who fell for like the bucket on the door prank, it fell on his head, and instead of like it being a funny laugh where he got wet, it just fucking killed him. The water didn't leave the bucket in time, and instead the full weight of it cracked his skull and just split it open. I like the aesthetic of that. I'm not really sure what you got going on here with the half jort, half leg warmer thing, and then a full pant leg on the other one, but hey, do you, man, if that's like what tickles your fancy. Fucking bugs, dude! I've never been able to figure out, like, would bugs be less threatening if they were life-size? Because to me, like, the level of detail that I see on something that small and that's around that often, I think that's a large part of why they freak me out. I think like if they were anthropomorphized properly and like human size, I really wouldn't mind so much. Case in point, this guy just looks kind of funny for being bug-eyed. He's like, it doesn't feel so menacing, you know what I mean? I don't feel menaced. And I mean that in a positive way. Like this guy's wearing a suit, he's really well put together, just a dapper fella. I can fuck with that. The funny stuff, Narf. Avatar, let it burn. I fuck with the makeup. I like the backdrop you've chosen for this image. I imagine that this is a costume you've used a few times this year, probably for conventions like the one I assume you're at, and you're like, fuck it, I did the work, might as well do it for Halloween as well. It's the only time the people at home are actually going to be able to see the hobbies you interact with, mostly at like conventions, so double up, repurpose that shit, man, min-max your time, don't waste a single second, stay on that grind set. I respect that. I can see the vision, like definitely a specific vision of what the apocalypse will look like, the ones where you'll need like a gas mask, or ones where a gas mask will actually do anything to protect you from what's in the air. The American flag shirt with the camo, it's like, yeah, this is the type of dude I could see trying to commission a doomsday bunker if they won the lottery. Investing in their future, all potential futures. No matter how bleak it is, I have money set aside for it. It's either I have a 401k that has strong and smart ETF investments, I've just put it in a lot of index funds, or money in the fucking grave, like the literal underground bunker that can survive a nuclear explosion. All outcomes have been thought of. Oh, hey, hi. Hi! Cinema roll! Cinema roll! It's very cute. It's very cute, alright? My mods tend to, like, put on a little stronger and a little better than, like, most of my audience. I mean, that's why they've been raised a tier above the rest of y'all, because they, like, have swag and finesse. I won't go as far as to call them honorarily Filipino, but they're people who really do be living this shit. You have just a generic clown with- I actually really fuck with these pants. The fact that the shapes and the colors of the shapes on the pants line up with some of the makeup, I actually think kicks it up a notch. That said, this is a normal-ass shirt to wear with the rest of your ensemble. Like, even just an oddly colored dress shirt would be almost more appropriate. I could, like, see this as, like, loungewear Toby Fox has 20 copies of inside, like, his closet. Like, you went so hard with, like, different components of this that I feel like some even generic clown shoes and even something a little more loud for the shirt could have really made it stand out, but I don't know. I think the design cohesion works well enough because it's not like these are egregious picks. It's just, you did so good with everything else. It's like, shit, we gotta take this a step further. Like, here we have a completely coordinated clown, or mine, whichever it is, technically speaking. I don't know what the official term is here. Can any experts enlighten me in the comments, please? I feel like this is going to be a long section of the video where we just get clown after clown and, like, different interpretations. But yeah, the red lighting gives it some flavor, but it looks like even the phone case itself matches the color scheme they set up for themselves for this outfit. I'm digging it. Approved! Another black and white clown. This one is, like, the only one I've seen without makeup. The aesthetics are all in the way they dressed up. Is there, like, a separate terminology for when you dress up like this, but don't do any of the makeup the clown has? It's just your normal-ass white person face? I think it still works out well. I could see you getting compliments and comments about this at the Halloween party. Ah, yep, Death Note cosplay. Oh my god, these are gonna be a bitch to walk in all night, but they look great. Absolutely crushed this one. No notes. Keep it pushing. Have a good Christmas. Christmas? Have a good Halloween. Holy fuck. You have the devil. Oh man, this is some Party City shit. This is some Party City shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're leaning a lot on the fact that you're stanced up and you can rock that shit to distract from the fact that the costume itself has existed for the better part of a century. I'm gonna let it pass because you're making it work, but I want to see more effort to come around next year. This one's edgy. Holy shit, this one is crazy. This could be sourced from something, but it does almost... Oh, it's fucking Susie. I'm stupid. Or a version of Susie. But I was gonna say, like, this seems like something you could wear at, like, a Furcon, just, like, as a scaly, but no, it's coming together. The purple aesthetic, like, makes it make a lot more sense. Stylized, put your own spin on, like, how that might look IRL. Good work. I approve. Here we have the elf. Jesus Christ, you look like Jeff the Killer. The costume's good. Why the fuck are you looking at me like that, man? Like, there's murderous intent behind those eyes. Oh, yep, Fallout New Vegas. You gotta love it. Wait a second. Didn't we get this last year? I don't have, like, perfect memory, so I'm not going to assume right off the bat. But I got my eye on you. Also, wrong type of firearm here, man. For shame. For shame. I also love how the arrow pointing is, like, near your ass, so it's like, no, I'm not actually in a costume of this guy in his entirety. The rest is a coincidence. The only thing that's supposed to be him are the pants. Costume token from Fentanyl Mascot. Okay, that's just a based pick. I gotta approve by default. No need to have extra comments on that. Keep it pushing. FNAF Rambo Mask.jpg. You just, like, mashed a bunch of shit together, huh? I respect the Bonnie name tag and, like, the cohesion outside of the Rambo mask, but, like, damn, that shit is branded and everything, man. You didn't even draw the red cheeks on it. Extra points for dyeing the hair that had to all the way down to the roots, man. That shit stings like a motherfucker when you do, but I have a feeling this FNAF section is gonna be long. It was very long last year. Not only do you have, like, the outfit where you're holding, like, a Funtime Foxy plush, but we have more Foxy plushies in the background, man. The only thing giving you, like, a semblance of variety is the Cyndaquil and the Shadow the Hedgehog poking out from the back that you can barely see. I'm gonna give you a pass on this one, but just barely. We have another furry, and honestly, like, I have furry friends who do it, but I didn't know how common of a practice it was to just wear your fursuit as your Halloween costume. Like, for a lot of these people, it feels like it's just their straight up fursuit. It's not like their fursuit stylized to kind of mimic a different character. Like, if you're gonna buy one outfit that costs as much money as a fursuit does, or requires as much time investment as a fursuit does, yeah, I mean, yeah, get your, like, fucking money or time's worth out of it, I suppose. I don't mean this in a judgmental sense. Just the amount of them that we're seeing here is, like, rather large. You dressed up as a fucking Labubu? The worst part is that, like, it's impressive, and the makeup with the way the mouth shape is lined up actually strikes the shape language in a very recognizable way. It is earnestly impressive, but I hate you for it. Yo! What the fuck? Dude, I hope to God this isn't, like, just taken from a subreddit where some guy posted this. This is, like, the most impressive costume I've ever seen on this series. That is, like, life-size, to scale, like, and it looks as polished as the 3D model from the game. Glamrock Freddy is fucking posing out here, and the LEDs. I low-key want to see a dude inside it just so I can see like fearful eyes looking from outside the mouth. This one is insane, man. Holy shit. Yeah, this one's like an immediate like S tier if I was tier listing these at all. You got the lighting set up, man. This is fucking awesome. I can't even hate. Does this count as like part of the fursuit phenomenon? Whatever, who cares? It's hard. Goofy Goober Rock. Okay, a classic, a classic. I'm very scared of when we get to the L's because it's been like a joke this entire month that like a certain demographic of people just defaults to wearing a Lorax costume for Halloween and then thinks it's the most incredible thing ever. I don't have opinions as strong on the Lorax costumes as some of those people, but like, my god, the spread of costumes we're getting here might just get us nuked from orbit already. Who knows the fodder we're gonna give to these people if we have too many Lorax costumes. Ooh, we have a video here, and this makeup seems really in-depth. Like, ooh, I want to see this one. Hit the fucking umbrella twirl too? Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, you got that shit on. No notes, no notes. Except, like, this doesn't feel like an outfit that you should wear in broad daylight. Like, this just feels like it was designed for, like, nighttime escapades. Have a great Halloween. You deserve it for rocking this shit. Green? I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be a costume of, but I can tell that there's, like, makeup on the face, so it definitely is a thing that I'm just unfamiliar with. Like, the fit's pretty normal, but the makeup is competently done and noticeable enough to, like, be a thing that is more than just a stylized fit. Love what you did with the lipstick, too. I just don't know what I'm looking at here. I could be stupid. Hi, it's me, Jacqueline. Nah, I'd win. Okay, yeah, fucking just add the comic panel. Again, the mods just tend to have that shit on, so we get to move on without too many notes. I forgot his name. It's Napstablook. How could you forget that shit, you fucking faker? That's the name of the file, not the person who submitted it. That's not what they said. I won't lie, this is probably my favorite spin on just the normal bedsheet ghost costume. Like, Undertale ghosts just look like bedsheets normally, so like doing some Sharpie drawing gives you all that. And you gave him his headset, because he's a fucking garage band producer that you can listen to his techno music in the game with. Yeah, big fan of this. Not sure how you're going to be taking shots with this over your face the whole time. I would recommend, like, maybe just having equivalent makeup on underneath so it doesn't destroy the immersion entirely, but I'm a fan of this one as far as ghost sheet bed costumes go. I wonder who? I don't know who this is. I don't know. Good standard Riddler costume. You didn't try to put a funny spin by making it the Rizzler. It is just the classic kinda Edward Nygma Riddler. No need to reinvent the wheel. You're rocking that shit. Good work. Little guy. Dude, I've seen so many Hornet cosplays over the course of the last month since Silksong dropped. I feel like people have like low-key perfected the craft behind it. And I can only imagine how big the fucking head for Hornet has to be proportional to the rest of your body size. Like, look at where the eyes here are in comparison to where they have to see out of them. Like, dude, they probably can only see like here and up, and then this thing is just taking off their center of gravity and like by a mile because of how tall it is. I'm a big fan of the needle though. This thing looks sick. I'd be afraid to wave it around for like breaking it because it's gotta be like a delicate piece of craftsmanship to have a blade this wide and a handle this thin. Guy in maid outfit. This is a very standard, hi, I am a like college dorm and this is my costume pick. Not that I'd know because I never went to college. I think the part that makes me laugh is just like the cardboard inserts on the shoes at the bottom. This will get at least a few laughs at the function, man. Have fun with that. My Chemical Romance. I almost said rules card, dude. I'm a fucking idiot. But like, I'm not insane for thinking that, right? I know that like I'm probably putting the chicken before the egg and that rules card was probably inspired by the look of MCR, but you know, I think it's there regardless. Hatsune Miku, you can never really boo a Miku, man. Like, just in solidarity, you have to say, yes, I like this one by default. Monster High, based, you got that shit on. Mustache.jpg. I'm actually not sure who this is supposed to be, but it's definitely somebody. Red Anthony Fantano glasses. And not even like a mustache drawn on your face with Sharpie. Is that like just added in Photoshop or like on drawn on with Snapchat at the end? Because that's really funny if it is. Oh, and they're at the gym in the costume. Like, what are they? Night of the Living Deadlift.
Go, Riley.
Yeah, more than I've tried deadlifting in recent memory, but I'll give it to you. I'm not trying to get in like a strength for strength competition with anybody who's just displayed that they have strength, because I have not checked in a very long time what I'm capable of doing with the weights. Why are you purple? Why are you purple? Why are you purple? Why are you purple? Did you murder several children? Also, gigantic fucking cane keychain. Just, what is he screaming? That his eyes are like in the bottom of his incisors. Do not fold that jaw or those things will pop like balloons. Fucking Ozzy. Rest in peace. I like the inclusion of the Polaroids. It just adds to the kind of unhinged aesthetic you're going for. Okay, I wouldn't call this like abnormally unhinged, but this just looks like a dude who had a fun night out with some friends and got to put the costume to use. Hard to hate on that, man. When you actually see people using these in real life, that's a step above what half the people watching this video are doing, and especially, it's like a whole staircase above what the fuck I'm doing with my life right now. Approved. Pencil oh my god, the makeup on this one is crazy. Are you the dude that John Wick killed and it always gets brought up as an example of how dangerous he is? Because that pencil is broken in two different places, man. Both the writing and the eraser end are either broken off and you're just got wood shrapnel stuck in your goddamn skull, or it's been broken in half and they got stabbed eraser and lead end in your skull, which has to be really uncomfortable. You went absolutely insane with this one, man. Yep, Dial Town, yeah. I will never truly escape from this game, will I, man? You make one video called Phone Sex Dating Sim, and you're never able to drop the label after that. And you know, I probably don't deserve to be able to, man. Just punitive justice must be taken out on me for having lowered myself to that. I'm fucking with this one. Just the color coordination is all there. Is this, the one pink clown from, Ace Attorney? Or am I messing myself up? No. This is a distinctly different pink clown than the one from Ace Attorney. Plus, that's like a description that could fit a lot of characters in fiction, so I won't speculate too hard. Here we got two pirates doing their thing. Good for you. The classic Plague Doctor mask. This is a high-quality Plague Doctor mask, too. I feel like there's, like, a very sliding scale of, like, how detailed these things will get. This one has, like, all these, like, buttons and laces and details that the real ones back in the day probably didn't even have, but it's just aesthetically more pleasing because it's got like the red it's got the red lenses and you got like that hat on with it. Wearing a fedora may only ever be acceptable if you're wearing a Plague Doctor mask alongside it, man. It is kind of crazy that the lasting influence of the bubonic plague, at least in popular culture, is just the shit that they used to wear, superstitiously thinking it wouldn't get them sick. Oh wait, I fucking love this one. The Mimikyu cosplay and, you know, the little like yellow eye in the middle, that gives it some flavor with the Undertale save icon alongside a Mimikyu plush. It works like in the character's lore because any discrepancy or like could be perceived as like, I don't know, like a budget constraint where like you couldn't get the nicest props for it. That's actually like just very in line with Mimikyu's conceit as a Pokemon. Wearing the skin of a more popular one to like try and beg off the clout. You, as the Mimikyu cosplayer, is trying to do the same thing to Mimikyu. It's fucking awesome. Red Hood cosplay, bonus points if you have actual explosives in the mask that you can like roll into a crowd of children, then press a button to make it blow up. Okay, let's scratch the crowd of children and let's instead say safely on a range for nothing but prop and stunt purposes overseen by professionals and the appropriate authorities. Yep, let's go with that. Oh, you get to see the gigantic fucking Pomni at Comic-Con? No fair! My fucking goat. Okay, this is actually a unique one. You made a really detailed costume based off of your own Roblox avatar. Like, I would bully you for having such an in-depth Roblox avatar, but I low-key want to make one of my own. And the fact that you were able to bring it so lovingly to life through cosplay is really dope. Hard approved, man. It's a unique choice, and it does not pass the Halloween costume test in that you will have to explain to literally everybody who doesn't immediately know you and your OC about what the hell your costume is, but it's like a good conversation starter in that way. Which is easier to get bullied for, doing this or using your fursona and/or existing fursuit? Let me know in the comments below. Did somebody put together a fucking analog horror bit for this? Okay, we gotta see this, and then I gotta take a piss to find out what we're dealing with. Oh, that's a really good marionette, especially with the aesthetics you attached. I'm fucking with this. And of course it takes place in 1997. It shows you like how effective practical effects can be when like framed in the right medium. Like I'm sure if you took a more HD picture of this photo, like you could see like where like some of the seams on the costume are, but at a distance with this VCR grain filter over it, like damn, you are really just stunted up in the back in a way where I hope you don't approach any closer. Amen to that. Amen to that. I give you my kudos. Yep, Shadow the Hedgehog, instant fucking like approval. I don't care if it's just like a Kigurumi that you bought off Amazon. It shit's hard. Plus the Pokeball pop socket. Weirdly, I'm surprised I never noticed this, like color coordinates with Shadow the Hedgehog's color palette really well. My only complaint is what the hell is going on with this quill? It looks like it's supposed to protrude out the back, but you somehow made it like bend forward. That's gotta hurt, man. Like they're supposed to be slicked back. That's why Shadow the Hedgehog has all those idle animations of him like pushing his waves back, so like he's making sure they're staying fresh. That said, Shadow the Hedgehog. I have to let my bias seep through. And we got another one. Let's go. This one's stylized too. Oh almost more of like a Gajinka. That's not the right word, but it's like less of like you're wearing Shadow's body like a skin suit, and more like Shadow the Hedgehog just has a fit that makes him look like Shadow. Skeleton mask. This could be any number of things. Like I'd see like the steampunk goggles, but you also got like the Punisher thin blue line mask on. I'm sorry for putting that mojo on to you, big dog. Sans Undertale, but hyper realistic. Oh, that fucking skull mask is terrifying. It's like those images of him asking, "Why'd you jump?" after you fucking do his pacifist front. I think most people can understand who the hell Sans the skeleton is, at least via visual. And this one, like, might not instantly click, but then you tell them it's like, I'm Sans, but like 10% more serious than he is in the game. They're like, oh. Susie Deltarune, hard approve. Listen, man, I'm in my Undertale Deltarune shit. It was like me saying yes, thumbs up to every FNAF and Sonic-related costume last year. Now it's Deltarune. All right, guys, this is probably gonna happen with a different series every year. Or who knows, with a new Deltarune chapter coming out next year, hopefully before Halloween, it might just be the same thing every year until the game's fucking over. Spooky! Ooh, yeah, good shit here, good shit. I apologize every time I don't recognize a costume off rip. I do, however, appreciate the craftsmanship of everything that I'm seeing here. Oh, this is a really fucking good Springtrap. Dude, what? I don't know what it is, but like animatronic technology from like last year's Halloween costume review to this one has just jumped up several tiers. Like first we had the Glamrock Freddy from earlier, and then we like the Springtrap that was the thumbnail of the last Halloween video, which I still thought that one was like made with love and really good. This is like fucking scary. This looks like it could have been a prop in the movie. It's like really tall and looming as well, man. Like, ugh. Spring Bonnie. Come on, Barbie. Let's go, Barbie. Wait, come on, Barbie. Let's go party. Not Barbie twice. I'm stupid. You know, Star Trek, it's a classic, and the uniforms are sleek, so they're like pretty easy to work in. Approved. No major notes. We got a goddamn Teletubby with like, you know, wait, no, it's not just a Teletubby. It's the looks maxing Teletubby, dude. Look at what they did to their jawline. I'm getting mogged from across the screen here. I think this is the closest thing we got to like the Lorax, and even then, this is like a step above the normal Teletubby. It's a stylized one. Approved. We got TV. Oh, it's Tena. You got that shit on. You got that shit on, dude. That expression work is like damn near perfect to the teeth in the actual game. My only suggestion would be like, you need to be unafraid to wear leather pants that are gonna be too tight and show a like fucking dick bulge or camel toe to like get the maximum experience out of this. Other than that, this is like a damn near perfect cosplay. That said, if you wanted this to be more in character, the Spampton plush in the bottom left needs to be like either half chewed, on fire, full of milk and thrown at a wall, just generally battle damaged in a way that this feels too taken well care of to reflect. Oh yeah, wait, here we go. This is what I'm hoping for. That'll do. You can always abuse Spampton more, but it's there. Also, whoever in the mod team named this file Undertale, with spelled like T-A-I-L, don't ever fucking do that again. You have to know what you were doing. Sans and Papyrus, it's the buddy fits. What's there to hate? Clara Pathologic, what they said. Thank you for people who included the name of their costume in the actual picture, so my dumbass was able to catch up. And yeah, like the reference image, like you pretty much got that shit 1-to-1, like even down to like the knit sweater under there being the exact same pattern. Like good work on this one, man. Like you were like born to cosplay this character, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, this Winter Soldier is hard. I always think of the story of Sebastian Stan saying that he has to lube the fuck out of his arm every time he's like slipping into the metal arm prosthetic. Like he has to just get wet as shit, and like that's gonna feel so gross to take off at the end of a long day of shooting after you like sweat a bunch in it. Just all this mixing of weird fluids, some bodily, others not. And the last one on today's list has a Shadow the Hedgehog plush just hanging from a door, which can only mean good things, and has been ominously named Yo by the mods who are reviewing these before I took a look at them myself. What you got? Lay it on me. Yo, that's a really fucking good Rousey. That's actually kind of smart as shit. You just swap out the eyes, take off the horns, and you can double up on an Azrael and the Rousey cosplay, dude. Like, you can either do this 2 years in a row or go to 2 different Halloween parties and, like, just be fucking stacked to the Johns with that shit. This is by far the best fursuit in the entire, not the best, but my favorite fursuit one in the entire, video so far, just because I actually know the character it's about. Yeah, you're crushing that shit. Fucking Good work, Asriel from Undertale. Have you guys seen the Asriel fade TikToks that have just been like cycling my For You page endlessly? Fuck, like the brain rot just seeps into every wrinkle of my cranium, man. It's probably bad for my health. That said, good work on y'all's costumes this year. I hope you guys have a great Halloween tonight. I believe the next one of these kind of viewer-specific submission things we'll be doing are looking at your Spotify Wraps, which are very fun to do every year. Anyways, just a quick reminder that there's only a week left to get my G-Subs Horror Macabre drop if you guys wanted anything on the website. First link in the description to get everything there for 10% off. Anyways, this has been Kwote, and I'll see y'all next time.